Are you sick and tired of high grocery prices? It turns out our political parties do have a little something to do with it. It's not actually what the NDP has traditionally said, that somehow grocery stores are gouging consumers and that there needs to be some new grocery store tax. The reality is all of our political parties are in on it, and they are helping to raise the bill for the cost when you go to buy things like milk, eggs, and chicken. And the reason is because all political parties are defending the status quo of supply management. Supply management is a system that limits severely the amount of dairy and eggs and poultry produced here in Canada, its specific quotas, and it also, through import tariffs and import quotas, restricts what can be brought in from abroad. All of that means that prices here in Canada are higher for Canadian consumers. In fact, studies have shown that Canadian consumers are paying over $400 a year more in grocery prices because of the system of supply management. At a time when 50% of households say they're $200 away from not being able to pay their bills, a $400 a year grocery price increase is very significant and actually could be making the difference between households getting by and households not getting by. All political parties in Ottawa are defending the status quo. Earlier this spring, the Bloc Québécois introduced a bill in Parliament that essentially said that supply management should not be up for negotiation in any future trade negotiation or agreement with other countries. And all political parties in Ottawa supported that motion. That includes the Conservatives, who are traditionally in favor of lower taxes, less government, and less regulation. But when it comes to supply management, the Conservatives are defending the status quo. Supply management has been a sticking point in trade negotiations. For example, our trade negotiations under the Trudeau government fell through with the United Kingdom in part because the Trudeau government refused to reform our antiquated system of supply management. And now it is a big sticking point with the Trump administration and could definitely harm future trade negotiations and ongoing trade negotiations with the Trump administration and could lead to higher tariffs. So the reality is that all of our political parties are defending a status quo that increases prices for Canadian consumers at the grocery store by hundreds of dollars a year and is also costing us important trade agreements with other countries and allies like the United Kingdom and potentially with the United States. So this is a system that absolutely needs to go. We cannot have fewer than 10,000 dairy farms in Canada and their lobbyists defending the status quo, holding the country hostage, and increasing our prices. What we need to do is get rid of the system of supply management, which would open up the sector, increase competition, force our dairy farms to compete with competitors from abroad, and could actually lead our dairy farms and poultry and egg farmers here in Canada to increase their exports to other countries and thrive more in the long run. That's exactly what happened in other countries that got rid of supply management, like New Zealand and Australia. So it's time for political parties and the dairy cartel to stop holding Canadian consumers hostage. It's time to lower prices. It's time to have trade agreements with other countries. It's time to make sure that supply management is not blocking trade agreements with other countries. And it is time for our political parties to recognize that the status quo cannot continue and that supply management must come to a close.